Yo, man, listen, we are back once again on the Dream Teams. I picked this food out of my mouth, y'all. I just got finished eating, but not to ruin the moment. I'm so happy for the city of Philadelphia, first and foremost. We can sit here and we can contemplate on all of the different scenarios that took place over the season, but ultimately the Eagles did exactly what I thought they were supposed to do. As I sit here next to my co-host, Mr.
Knox.
As you see, sitting to my right, we missing my man Bills, who usually sit to my left. Prayers go out to my man Bills. He out there doing his thing for PIW Entertainment tonight. Mm-hmm. And again, you know where y'all can find us, man. We on Total Defined Entertainment. We come to y'all every week. We try to get y'all the best content in the rawest form as we can. And again, man, we're here to share things that we either talk about, whether it be the Super Bowl, as we now get into the NBA segment of the portion of our show. Yeah. So we just going to build, man, and keep building, and hopefully y'all build with us. So without further ado, we must address this Eagles Super Bowl win yesterday. I mean, well, last Sunday, man. What we talking about?
It was wonderful, man. It was a great thing for the city of Philadelphia. Like, everybody just coming together, and people that normally don't speak to you were speaking and giving you a handshake, dapping you, giving you a hug. Like, it was crazy energy in the city yesterday. It was a wonderful thing.
I loved it, man, because, you know, as a city and as we watch the Eagles over this season, how much, you know, just getting Saquon and I you know, we spoke on this, and we're not going to dig too deep into all of the different scenarios because we covered everything that you guys do in the NFL segment. But I'll just say this. Sometimes one player can make a difference. Sometimes giving a coach an opportunity, even when everybody was throwing rocks at him, to see that, you know, his talent prevailed in terms of how he masterminded this thing. Because it takes a real head coach with all of the egos that was in that room. And you know yourself, being amongst that, you have to be able to come together. And as I said, you know, on many of shows before this, it's this, man. You got to be able to lock in. You got to be able to know your position. And just like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, A.J. Brown said something during the Super Bowl, his Super Bowl speech was, they thought I was a diva, they thought I was this, and now I'm a Super Bowl champion. So talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So listen, now.
And look how he done got my man book selling too.
Exactly.
So you know, he helped, he looked out for him. He helped him out.
Yeah, and I think that's sometimes what we lose ourselves in when it comes to sports. We almost take it too personal. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
exactly.
You know, again, like I tell you guys all the time, I'm a fan first. I don't care what sport we talking about. I'm a fan first, meaning I'm looking at it from that perspective. If you never played the sport, if you never engaged in a professional game ever in your life, then it all becomes the same thing that we talk every week on this show, and that's opinion. So
exactly.
We all got one, and I'm not saying that your opinion don't matter, because it does. But at the same time, like I said, we're no gurus. We just like you guys. We watch the sport enough to know that, like, it's certain things that look like it works, some things that don't work. You know what I mean? So now we're gonna get into this NBA podcast, man, and I'm excited about it because here it is. The All-Star game is this coming weekend.
Yep.
You got a format that's never been ever seen before. So what do you think about that? Just going into that, you know, going into this All-Star game this weekend, man, what do you think about the format? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you think it's going to bring some excitement to the game?
Well, you know, I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to how things were. But on the other hand, you know, things come and go. And this one is just launching off a new dynamic of the All-Star game, which is cool for this generation.
Yeah, because
you know
what we got to remember is the game is now global, right? So it's international, because you got probably more international superstars than you have actual superstars from America, kind of the way baseball has done with the Dominicans and the Cubans and the Mexicans. And you see
Japanese
how they've done.
Too.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, can't forget about that. But you see that's where the NBA is pushing that envelope now to try and broaden the horizon. I think the commissioner, if I'm not mistaken, just signed a deal to do like 12 NBA games in Manchester over in Germany.
I think I heard the same thing too.
Yeah.
I know they was talking about it.
Right. So it is now. It's confirmed. It's confirmed.
Okay.
So I say all that to say that, like, where this is going, the reason why I like the format, I think it'll make the games more competitive. You give players a reason, because now they're putting their donators that they're going to donate to behind their names. So it allows these guys to win that money for a purpose, and it's like you're fighting for somebody else other than just you putting the money in your pocket and going out and buying something you can buy any day because of the contracts you guys got.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So that's why I just thought, and I'm like with the new wave of talent that we've seen, we know that the game is growing and is developing in a way where I think it'll allow everybody to enjoy what we've enjoyed our whole life. Of course, it's played at a different pace. We're in a different era. So I've been able to adapt. Do I watch every game? No, I'll sit here and tell you the truth. I don't, because the NBA is so watered down with. I saw a layup opportunity last night on some highlights, and the guy kicked it out for a 3.
Oh, I saw that. I know what you're talking about.
And Candace Parker said, that's today's game. And it is. Because he had a 2-point shot right there, and he literally kicked it out to the dude in the corner.
I'm never going to be able to get over that. I'm not, because that's the more high percentage shot. Exactly. They trying to make you think that the open 3 is the higher percentage shot than the layup.
Yeah.
Now, I see somebody blow a layup, they go out and hit open 3. I said, how can you blow an open wide layup under the basket? Yeah. I mean, but we and I think that's something that, we'll get into as the season progresses. We'll get into the dynamics of how the game has changed from in my era when I grew up, how it was really a rock'em sock'em league. You had guys that literally brutally would beat up every day. Iverson, i.e., Shaq, i.e., a couple other players that, man, literally were on the foul line 14, 15 times a night. You're lucky to see a guy on the line 8 times a night now, because the game is played more of a finesse style game, and it's more about the entertainment value than it is about the actual game. And again, that's just my opinion, y'all. But something I want to touch on, and we talked about this on the first episode of the NBA segment we had, which was, how do we think Bronny was going to do? And I said, and I said this, I can't make this shit up, y'all. I told you that's my favorite saying. I said the only time you're going to see his pop is either in a blowout or beating him at the time clock just to get in, because LeBron about to make another milestone. Right.
And so we at that point where, what do you think about him being drafted at all?
Well, we all know it's politics. Like Bron, that just tells you how much pull that Bron has in the league. But in the other hand, if you were in LeBron's position and you had a son, you would want your son to be there too.
My take's a little different, and only because Bron has been in the league for 22 years, right? Just as old as basically his son is. And I think just from a selfish standpoint, there's so many different directions that young kid could have went in. His pop's already a billionaire. Like Brian said on a podcast, I wish I could ever get you on here, Brian, to really talk on our own show. But I say that to say that, like Brian said, he could have been a CEO of one of my companies. Choose a face. He doesn't have to play basketball. He's already rich. So to me, and that's why I said that early in the season, that's what I'm going to go back to just to fill y'all in a little bit. I said because of who he is and who his dad was or who his dad is, it makes it hungry for a guy like him to be hungry about the game.
Right.
Because everything's pretty much been handed or given to him in a way where it's no sense of urgency there. Like,
he wants to earn his way.
He's already drove nice car. He already lives in a mega $1 million house. He already has endorsements through his dad. So there is no hunger to get better. And I think, like you said, the politics of the game shows because of who LeBron James is. Because if that was just a Joe Schmo son, he doesn't make the team.
Right.
I don't know, man. That's just my thought process with that.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's get into this season, man. What do you feel about the trades? What do you feel about who started, how Cleveland started, how the Knicks are playing well? You got the Lakers playing good ball. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that we picked to go to the dance that's playing really good ball.
Well, the trade definitely changed the whole dynamic of the season.
I don't think so, but go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
I believe so, because of Luka going over to LA. So we're no longer looking at the Lakers like we did with Anthony Davis. So with that being said, it's going to take some time because they just lost to Utah the other night. But I'm not looking too much into that. Nah. Then they beat up on them the other night.
Right. Yeah.
So Utah, and
Utah's a hard playing team though. They're young, but they play.
Their record is bad, but they play hard.
Yeah, they do.
They definitely do that. I definitely agree with you on that.
And we notice, like being a professional in a league, I don't care. We all got pride. So we just played you niggas the other night and we lost and got cooked. Oh, we're gonna show y'all a little something that we can play too.
Yeah, when we get that home cooking and we lay in our bed.
So, you know, that being said, we got OKC in the West, we got Denver in the West, we got the Lakers in the West, we got Dallas in the West. Clippers just got Ben Simmons, which I think don't help them much at all. And then Golden State, I would say to round that out only because getting Jimmy Butler, I think is going to be essential for them moving into the playoff push because he's a veteran presence. He can score the ball. He's a great defender and he's a gritty player. And he brings that toughness that every night Draymond don't have to bring. Right. It gives Draymond a chance to get his engine a little rest before the playoffs hit because they're going to be there. Whether it's the play-in or not, they're going to be there.
And Jimmy goes to the line a lot.
Exactly. He gets fouled.
This is what people don't understand about when you have a player that goes to the line. Not only does he have an opportunity to score points, he's getting your team rest without calling the timeout. That's what people don't look at part of the game.
Right. And I think that's one of the things, too, that, you know, like when you look into certain trades that were made. And when I talk about, you know, the unfortunate part I'll say with Anthony Davis is like this Paul George situation.
Oh, man.
They stay hurt. And we all know, folks, if you can't be on the court, you're no longer an asset to the team. You're now becoming a liability. That's where I think Dallas this year, I don't know moving forward if Anthony Davis will ever get his health correct because he was having the best, you know, season, the damn near of his career.
He definitely was.
So that's where I say the competitiveness in the NBA has now, as he said, the dynamic has definitely changed a little bit where we're going to see some teams that, I mean, are really right there or to make some serious headway come the playoffs. And I'm excited to see it because I think that trade, as we talked a little bit about on the show last week, was essential to this season and how it transitions into the playoffs. Giving the fans something different, a different perspective.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a definitely good outlook. Like people in Dallas they very highly upset.
Oh yeah, of course. They were burning jerseys and
oh man,
boycotting the games and all of that.
Bringing caskets to the game, and, you know.
But that's where we talk about being a fan and being a fanatic. It's a difference between the two. Like we all know this is a business, no matter what entity, whether it's entertainment, whether it's sports, whether it's podcasting, whatever it is that people do when the lights is in front of them. Remember, folks, it's a business first. We're not doing this to entertain. We are, but we still want to see some residuals on the back end at some point. So that being said, when we saw that trade happen, from a business aspect, you have to do some things to somehow shake up the dynamic of what's going on in your sport at that moment. Football has superseded the NBA so much.
Yes, it has.
To the point where the NBA had to do something. So it's one of those things where now we're starting to see how some of these trades, Doncic going to the Lakers, of course, Anthony Davis going to Dallas. You had Kyle Kuzma go from the Wizards. Now he's in Milwaukee. Middleton
gone.
Brother, you wasn't doing too much anyway. You had a couple other trades. Then we had that one trade in Charlotte that didn't take place because of the physical, which that kid was supposed to go to the Lakers.
Mark Williams.
Of course, Andrew Wiggins now in Miami, Jimmy Butler in Golden State. But I just say that to say that I think, you know, as the season.
Don't forget about Brandon Ingram, too.
Brandon Ingram,
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's over Toronto now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that helps Toronto because they got a team.
He got to get healthy, though.
No, and that's been one of his biggest flaws, too, over his career.
I love it.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Court, he's a great, awesome player when he's on the court.
He's a beast. And, you know, like I said, a couple other trickle-down trades. Of course, we talked about the DeAndre Fox trade to San Antonio. I like that trade. I thought that was good.
Oh, man. I love me some De'Aaron Fox ever since Kentucky. You know what I'm saying?
And quiet as cat. Don't sleep on that Levine trade to Sacramento, matching him back up with DeRozan. Yeah. They just had a chemistry in Chicago, and they knew it worked. Like, yo, DeRozan, like, bring that boy over here.
But you know what?
And DeAndre wasn't happy no more in Sacramento.
Cleveland made great moves. DeAndre Hunter?
Yes, that was huge.
You know what I'm saying?
That was huge. I know LeVert felt kind of some type of way, man, because...
And Niang.
Yeah, because, you know, well, Niang, he was with the Sixers, but...
He was the out.
But Cleveland bought... Before they bought Donovan Mitchell there, LeVert was the guy. Like, meaning, like, he was helping the young point guard and the team. Yeah. He developed that leadership that I thought that they owed him an opportunity to win a chip in Cleveland, man, without getting, dusted off. But I mean, when you getting a guy back like DeAndre
when
Hunter,
you got value, you got value.
Yeah. So I mean, in Atlanta don't look like they're going too many places. Not with the team that they got constructed right now. And I'm not feeling that at all. But who do you like coming out of the East, looking at the way things are shaping out? And then we'll get into this whole Sixers debacle.
Me as a real, true basketball fan,
Dream Team Cup,
Celtics is still the team to beat. Like how my man said, them dudes is deeper than the Pacific Ocean. That's the truth. They have a lot of depth. Like, did you see how they just handled San Antonio the other night with Jaylen Brown and Ru Holiday out? Like,
I'm gonna say something to that, Double. Go ahead.
Can't make this up, man. How you say eat? You can't make this up.
Now I'm gonna say this, right? The one thing that we all know, right? We talked about it last week. This is a copycat league, right? So you start to see the dynamics of different things happening. And of course, when you make solid draft picks, which Boston did, when you look at the way certain teams traded for who they traded for, you understood it. I personally like the Knicks this year. I do, because I think Cat was that missing piece. And I thought Randall, as much as I love his aggressiveness, he just was a black hole, kind of like I'm not going to disrespect you, Carmelo, but kind of like a Carmelo Anthony, where he gets the ball and it doesn't come back. And that's all he can give you on the court pretty much is scoring. So with a dynamic such as Kareem Towns, he brings defense, he's long-armed it, he shares the ball, and he's going to do whatever's necessary for the team to win. That's why Minnesota was so successful last year when he got healthy.
And you know what, too, though? Last year, when they was making a playoff run and they did it without him, that was the key. They said we could replace this guy with somebody that we know that's going to be there and be there consistently. Plus, Cat stretched the floor.
Yeah, he does. He can shoot.
He's one of the best shooters.
Well, he won the three-point shoot contest last year.
Exactly.
And he's back in it this year. No, I love that, because, I mean, that was a great assessment, because here's the thing, right? When you have a group of guys that's willing, and we talked about this going back to what your Eagles, your Eagles gear on, when it works, it works. And you see that it works. Now, we'll touch on, before we get to that, again, y'all can reach us on Total Define Entertainment. This your boy EDUBZ. You can reach me on Instagram at eStacksDoe. You can reach me on Facebook. That's Eric Frazier. This your boy Knox. Tell them where they can reach you at, Knox.
Obnoxious, William Obnoxious Burke on Facebook. Obnoxious, OBNOX, IOUX _PIW on Instagram.
We can't make this shit up, and I say this every week to y'all. That's one reason why we love to reach out to y'all. Like I said again, on Total Define Entertainment, you can find us on YouTube. We got the QR code coming. We got some guest appearances coming, some really big guests. Hopefully that I got in the works, man. I'm trying to give you guys everything that we can to build around this brand. And listen, like I said it before, it's always love from Dreams Teams. And listen, man, let's get right into it then, man. Let's talk about it. Like, we got this whole Sixers situation. I'm so frustrated, bro. When I tell you,
man,
it's beyond frustration, y'all. You got my young boy, Maxey, out there stressing because he's not used to losing, never lost grade school, high school, college. He gets to the pros, and it's just been one coach after the other, one player after the other. And now it's to the point where, what do we do? I'm asking you guys, because I really want the DMs to come in. I really want your feedback.
Yeah.
What do we do with Joel Embiid? Because he's becoming a liability. He's not going to be wanted nowhere.
Nobody want to take that salary?
3 years, $193 million, y'all. We just re-signed this cat. Are you kidding me? And how many games has he played? 15?
17.
That's ridiculous. But then what we see on the internet is you playing soccer at the practice facility. But you're hurt. What a neat, supposedly, situation. You gotta be friggin' kidding me.
Talking about surgery. Does that look like surgery to you?
Not at all. What it tells me is that the Sixers made a tremendous mistake in signing him.
Yes, they did.
To a 3-year, $193 million deal. They made a big mistake in getting an out of shape, unmotivated Paul George. Totally took the bag from us and really said, whatever. He in street clothes more than in NBA clothes.
Right, we might start calling them street clothes. But you're talking about two diehard Sixers fans.
Exactly.
Here. We ain't hating. We love our team. We just don't like what they're doing.
Exactly.
How they handling business, how they running the organization.
Thank you.
Like, you got, is they looking at what the Eagles is doing? Like, are they?
You
they
know,
must not be.
And it's sad because and we talk about this, it don't take a genius or rocket science to figure out what work and what don't work. Now,
right.
Here's the question to you that I have moving forward. Mm-hmm. Because we're such passionate fans of our team, what do we do? Do we restart? Do we rebuild?
We unfortunately we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to start the process all over. Because
so you build around Maxey and the young boy McCain from Duke.
Yes. Okay. Too bad we won't see him till next season.
Yeah. He was having a pretty much pretty damn near all-star.
He's a baller. We already know that.
He was pretty much going to be rookie of the year if he would have kept doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? Because he was really just playing that well. Stuck with Paul George for 4 years for the 212 we got signed him to. So he's going to be 40 sitting on our bench collecting checks. Or they'll buy him out, but he'll be another floater because we seem to get a veteran that's always past his prime.
Yeah.
Go all the way back to who?
Weber. We'll get the name.
Cool Coach.
Cool Coach. Listen, we can keep naming.
Keith Van Horn.
We can just keep naming.
Only superstar, only veterans that we got that made sense through this whole damn near 30 to 40 year debacle of an organization was when they built around AI the year prior to going to the chip, and then going to the chip because they got the right guy in Tyrone Hill. They caught the Dikembe Mutombo right at a point where he still had something left in the tank.
Yeah.
And to me, like we talk about the rebuild, you got to figure out where you're going to build from because if we're going to go young like an OKC, then go young. Go to the draft. Figure out some shooters you may want to get that can literally ball in terms of just shooting the ball well with Maxey and McCain being the ball, pretty much the ball dominant guys on the court.
You know where they at now? You just brought up
excuse me,
Paul George, right? When OKC traded Paul George to the Clippers, that's how they got SGA.
Exactly. Because SGA was pretty much on, he was coming off the Clippers bench at the time.
Yeah.
So and that's one of the things that, like I said, when we get deeper into this NBA segment and we start breaking down more or less like the game dynamic of it, because as you know, with the All-Star break coming in, now we're going to really start getting to the games that matter most because it's all about playoff positioning. And we'll start to see, as we talked about during the football segment in the football season, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this season and we're starting to see who's who and what's what. And I don't want the Sixers, just from a personal standpoint, this is my opinion, and this is what I think they should do. If you're going to go with this team again next year, right, and this is the plan, you got Embiid for another 3 years, extended. You got Paul George for
another at
least another 3. But bottom line is saying, even we could just get 2 out of them, right? You just re-signed Maxey to a 5-year, $200 million deal. Okay, I don't know what we have to do in terms of bringing in internal help, but let them guys get healthy. Let Maxey choose and pick his spots when he want to play. Shut it down. The playing is not worth putting Joel Embiid, what's left of his career, on the line. Paul George is already old and pretty much beyond his prime. But what I would like to see is these dudes take a whole off season to revamp their bodies, get motivated maybe just to give us one good season out of this trio. And I think if that can happen, it'll kind of fall on the coattails of the Eagles' energy that they brought to this city, man. And again, man, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. You boys did something that I really didn't foresee this soon with this team because I thought it had to work and gel. But to all of the fans out there, man, that's diehard Eagle fans, the ones that I know really care about the Eagles and bleed green, man. I'm happy for you guys. So,
you know what?
Again, congratulations.
I'm gonna have to purchase me a new jacket because I only got one Super Bowl on here. I'm gonna have to.
He really rubbing it in now, y'all. He really rubbing it in.
You know?
No, but that's what's up. So I'll just say that before we end the show, and we again, we always thank you guys again for bringing us, the real when it comes to our show. We appreciate
y'all.
The things that you feed back to us, and again, like I said, if it's something that we missed or something that we talked about or didn't talk about when it comes to the NBA segment, whether even be doing our NFL segment, again, this is opinion based. When we did this podcast, we started, like I said, there ain't no script. We ain't writing nothing in the back.
Nope.
We sitting here doing this from off the dome. So we got some different things coming. I'm appreciating the fact that you guys are sticking with us and continuing to build with us. And again, my merchandise is always available. You see I'm rocking my Dream Team podcast hoodie. My man got on his joint. His joint got the little eagle symbol in the back. But again, man.
Want me to show him?
Oh, please do. You know, I mean, it's an eagle thing. I'll let you go. I'll let you do your thing.
See how a Cowboys fan treating me? See this?
Yeah, see, I had to hook him up. But yeah, y'all, so and again, my shop is in the Northeast. That's at 5037. That's on right off of Rising Sun Boulevard. And you guys can literally go get all of the merch. Listen, we can come whatever you want. You want knitted hats, you want fitted hats, you want sweatshirts, you want t-shirts. We got it for you, man. And that's coming right here from your boy EDUBZ. This is Total Defiant Entertainment. We're coming back next week with another NBA segment. We'll have a little bit more content to talk about because we didn't talk about individual teams. We didn't talk about the Cavaliers and what they're doing. Of course, we got Boston doing what they're doing still, and the Knicks in the East. And of course, we talked about some of the Western Coast teams. But again, we got y'all. We coming, man. We coming with all of what we can. And like I said, please give us y'all feedback, man. That's what we do. We appreciate y'all again. It's your boy
Knox.
He's still asleep, but it's okay.
No.
You know what I mean? We got a little early start, but I got a little something on his belly now. And that's coming from Creations, man. Listen, the catering is outstanding. They feed us well every week. So support that too. Support PIW. And listen, you can reach me at EastXDoe on Instagram. You can reach me at Eric Frazier on Facebook. Again, this is Total Defiant Entertainment. We coming to you YouTube. Please tune in. We love y'all. And it's always love. Peace.
Peace.